everyone! So last week we learned about direct objects. This week we're going to learn about indirect objects, which can be confusing when you have the two, especially in the same sentence, which I will be covering that, so no worries. So an indirect object answers two questions, to whom or for whom, so keep those in mind when you have a sentence. Now let's go over the format in English before we do it in Spanish so that you have an idea of what an indirect object is. Because I know when you hear grammatical points and you're not someone who studies grammar all the time, like a language major, then it kind of just goes over your head easily because you're like, what is this? You never really learn it in English if you're a native English speaker. So an indirect object in a sentence would be, like for example, if you have the sentence, he bought her the flowers. So he is the subject. He was the one who did the action. He bought her the flowers. So who are those flowers for? They're for her. That is the indirect object. She is the second person in that sentence. So another example. I talked to Professor Davis. I don't know, I'm making up a name here. So I talked to Professor Davis. I talked to him. So I am the one who did it. I did the talking. But to whom? Him. I talked to him. So when you have an indirect object, it'll be something like that, just for some examples. So in Spanish, to do an indirect object, you have a few options. For instance, you have le or les. So le is like he, her, there is no gender distinction there. And then les is the plural. So if you had the sentence, I talked to him, you could say the subject I, but really it's not necessary in Spanish. So you could just say like, I talked to him, but it's like included in the conjugation. So le hablé. You wouldn't say lo hablé, because that's more like I talked about it. It's different. Lo is only used with direct objects, not indirect objects. That's where you have le and les. So I talked to them. Them would be les because it's plural. So les hablé. I bought him the flowers. Le compré las flores because it is a singular person. Doesn't matter if it's a girl or a guy, it would still be le compré las flores. So if you want to have the two in a sentence together, so that would be a direct object and an indirect object, that can get a little bit confusing because where do you put each one of them and how do you know which one to use? So when you have two in the same sentence, you are always going to have the indirect object first and then the direct object and then your verb. So if I do have the sentence like before that I used as an example, I bought him the flowers or he bought her the flowers, whatever it is, it would be him, it, bought. So I bought them for him, except it's in the reverse order in Spanish. It would be more like I, like him, them, I bought, if that makes any sense. So in that sentence, it would be se las compré. Because, why does it change into a se? That's confusing because it's not le. Well, I learned in Spanish when I used to take classes in high school, I learned that you could never lay low, never together. So keep that in mind when you're making those sentences. If someone bought them for you, it would be me las compró. They bought the flowers for me. Me las compró. Because, or well, he or she bought the flowers for me. Because if you remember the video on direct objects, flowers is feminine and plural, so you have the option of las and los. But when it comes to me or you as indirect objects, it's always me and te. If it's he or she or it, it's le, but changes to se if there is a lo or la afterwards. Or los, las, whatever, because you can't lay low. That's it. It's very simple. I'll give you a couple more examples to do. So how would you say, he gave me the pencil? If you said me lo dio, then you're correct, because who do you give it to? To whom? Me. And then lápiz, el lápiz, masculine, and then your verb. And then one more example for you before I go. So last example will be, he told me it. Actually, I already did me. How about you? He told you it. Whatever it is, the secret. I don't know. He told you the secret. If you said, te lo dijo, then you're correct, because you, it, the secret, el secreto, so it's masculine and singular, and then dijo, past tense of he or she told. And that's it. It's simple. Hopefully this was a clear explanation for you guys and clears some things up, because I know this can be a difficult concept. I will try to get a blog post out about this in case you want it in writing, or if you're just better with written explanations rather than hearing it. And I hope this helped. I'm looking forward to making more videos to help you guys, so let me know in the comments what you need help with in Spanish. Alright, see you next week! Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to press the like button so I can know to make more content like this. Also, remember to leave a comment telling me if you like these kind of videos, or if you want me to make other kinds of videos. Also, remember to subscribe so that you can know when my new videos come out. They come out every week. Also, you can check my blog for other content on travel and language learning, and you can check my Twitter for updates.